And I want to tell you a little bit about why marking paint has become one of my favorite tools and one of the most useful tools, and to be honest, one of the tools in my tool pouch that I totally under anticipated using as I got ready to start this build. Now, there were some things that I obviously knew we were going to use it for, laying out trenches, setting out the footprint for the inspectors to come out and take a peek at where the barndominium was going to set in relation to different setbacks and requirements that the county has. We used a lot of paint to mark where we needed to dig for power, for utilities and internet and telephone and that kind of stuff. And that stuff, I anticipated using it. I kind of figured that that would be the case. However, my favorite use for marking paint is right at my feet. And it's been here in the concrete and upstairs on the subfloor in trying to help my wife figure out what stuff's going to look like. Now, if you're like me, I can look at some blueprints and I can picture dimensions and things like that, and I can do drawings and so forth. My wife's a little more spatial and needs to be kind of in the space itself. And we've had a lot of issues talking back and forth. We've spent some time sitting at opposite ends of the barndominium, trying to figure out how to communicate our differences. And when I figured out to use marking paint to help her see what I was seeing, everything changed for us. This is a major communication tool in helping me show my wife what something's going to look like. And so here in this space, we're going to have a wood-burning stove. And early on in the process, I'll just be honest, myself and T-Tom West, the guys that helped me build this building, who were awesome to work with, did not understand the vision that my wife had for this space. She anticipated us knocking this wall out and setting it back 3 or 4 feet and having the fireplace set out, essentially outside of the home with a little alcove. And when we built the building, the image I had and the image I gave to Teton West was more of having a stove sit on the inside, 90ing out the side of the wall and then going up with the chimney. And that's what I presented to Teton West, and that's what they did for us. You can see we've got the 2 support beams going up here for a chimney. It created kind of a problem when everything was said and done. And so we've kind of been in a redesigning phase in trying to figure out what this is going to look like now that the fireplace is coming back out into the room farther than my wife anticipated. And it was really difficult for me to explain to her in words, because she is a visual, spatial person, what this would look like. And so one night, we left the kids at home in Blackfoot where we're staying, and I brought her out here with a can of marking paint. And she has this dream of having built-ins on either side of a fireplace, of having some brick going up here and some brick back into the alcove. And so we just got the marking paint out, the tape measure, marked it with pencil, kind of showed her roughly what it was going to look like. And when she felt good about it, I actually painted it with the marking tape. The marking paint, and labeled it so she could step back. And now, because of her ability to imagine things with this little aid, increases 100-fold. Now all of a sudden she can see what it's like, and then you can mark on the ground where your table's going to go. You can mark where your island is, where your countertops and cabinets are going to be. You can lay out the whole room and the whole space and see how things are going to fit. You can see where doors are going to open and close. You can see really where the walking space is. You can really see how the functionality of the room is going to work. If you're doing your own build, you're going to want to invest in, I would say, at least a case of good marking paint. We really like the Rust-Oleum. I found that it, at least in my experience, it lasts longer. I get more lines per can than the other stuff that I used earlier on with marking the footings for the initial pours. So if you haven't planned on this, plan on at least a case of marking paint, and then feel free, go crazy, draw things with pencil, and then once it's where you like it, paint it up, and you'll see how the space is going to work. Thanks for watching. If this is any help, and you had never thought of using marking paint this way, go ahead and give us a like. Please subscribe to the channel and follow us so that you can see all the little tips and tricks and mistakes that we've made along the way.